Okay. First, show it to me here.
I'm gonna go from here to the end of the
Can I ask you something? Did you put rosin on your bow today?
No.
Because it was not really working out well yesterday. And I think that you need to make sure that you're wiping off your violin and putting rosin on. And while you're doing that, I'll hold it. Let's talk about this little section. So it sounded to me like you were doing add a note. Is that right?
No.
Okay, so how
I was actually trying to get it in tune, and whenever the note wasn't in tune, I went back and then I just tried to notice the note because it was too
I really
low
like
and
that.
too high, and then I tried to find the middle.
Okay. So I noticed though you were playing it pretty fast. And I would say that if you're working on tuning, I wouldn't play something fast at first because it's not really fair to your fingers to expect them to learn the right place and to learn it really fast. Like say for example, you didn't know how to write down your alphabet, okay? Right? Let's say you had really terrible handwriting and I was your teacher and you didn't know how to make a capital E. Do you think it would help you to write that E as fast as you could to make it better? Or do you think if you needed help making an E, that doing it slowly would make it more precise?
Doing it slow.
Right, and so I'm just bringing that up as an example. And because, you know, you're kind of lucky. You're at the very beginning of learning this piece. And you have a chance to try not to learn mistakes. Okay? So, which is the first note that is out of tune? Bum ba da 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 da. This? What does it? This have a name, or is it just going by this old note? It's called nothing. What is the name of the note?
It's this. It's A.
A?
Yes.
Okay, and what's special about A in this little passage?
That is what? That is fourth finger.
That's darn tootin' right. And fourth finger, please don't put your elbow on the music stand. Fourth finger, because if it falls over and flips onto your violin, it'd be a disaster, okay? So what has Eugene been telling you about your fourth finger?
To keep it around like that.
Mm-hmm. And I was actually watching your fourth finger when you were playing it, and you know what it looked like? Nope. It looked like this. That little hook at the top. See, it looked like that. It looked stiff and stretched out. So I think if I were going to practice this and I had a very temperamental fourth finger, I think I would practice, since they're all in one bow, I think I would practice D, F natural, and A. So I think I would do up bow. can't see it, but okay. Why don't you try that? Why don't you try going slowly? You can do it without your fingers, your bow right now. Why don't you just pluck it? D. Okay, and why don't you let go of your whole hand and put your fourth finger down the way that you think a violinist should do it. Okay? So your fourth finger looks like that. And I'm going to say that I don't think that Eugene asked you to put it straight up and down. I think he said to just that what's really important is that you are playing it from here. So why don't you just rest your hand here and see if you can just tap your fourth finger. And I don't care if it's in tune or not because you're just tapping it. See if you can actually put your violin up and put your fourth finger down the way Eugene wants you to. No, I don't think that's what he wants you to do. I think he wants you to, okay, so just anywhere. I think he just wants it to go down nice and easy. I don't think he wants you to stretch it. I think he wants you to have your hand be relaxed. So what I'm going to tell you, go to rest position. I'm going to tell you that our afternoon practices, that it would be okay with me if all 20 minutes of it were spent helping your fourth finger out. It's absolutely a-okay if the only thing you do for the next 19 minutes is get your fourth finger super relaxed and in tune. I don't care if you can play this. I care that you have a fourth finger. I'll wait until you can give me your full attention without snarling at me, without sniffing and poking your hair up your nose and everything else. You've been doing that since I sat down here. You're impulsive, you're rushing through. So now your practice is going to be 30 minutes long because you've been wasting 5 or 6 minutes of my time. So I want you to pluck an open D. Not yet. When you put your violin up, you're going to pluck an open D like this. You can even make a game out of it. Pluck it a few times and see if you can really put it down nice and gently. Nope, you're not. You're stretching it. So pluck, stop, pluck, stop, second finger, stop. Okay, you're in a rush, and every time you rush, it's going to take 5 minutes for me to slow you down. So this is what you did. You didn't do what I asked you to do. I asked you to play. See how beautiful my fourth finger looks? Yours looks like this. And I want you for just 3 seconds to stop and put it down correctly. Why is it important to do that, Ella? Why do I even care about your widow baby fourth finger? Can I see it? Rock-a-bye fourth finger. Why do I care about it? You're getting a turn to speak, and you have nothing to say. I'm asking you, why? You be the teacher. You tell me why. I think it's important for you to stop and take care of your fourth finger here, besides for this piece. Why do we even care?
I don't know.
Okay. So I want you to listen to me really carefully then, because I'm going to tell you a couple of reasons why. Number one, this piece is really fast here. And there's going to be really fast sections of violin playing that you're going to have. And you're not going to be able to play fast the way your fourth finger looks right now. Your fourth finger will be out of tune. And your fourth finger is going to go, oh, I'm out of tune. I better stretch. And then you're going to be stiff. And then you're not going to be able to play fast because no one can play fast with a stiff fourth finger. So I was kind of hoping that you would join me in trying to make the best fourth finger that you possibly can. Not a stiff fourth finger. Don't try to impress me. I'm not impressed by how fast you can do it. I'm not impressed with that at all. I'm impressed with how relaxed and precise you can make it. So, why don't you take a deep breath and put your violin up with your feet on the floor and your feet spots and your hair out of the way and everything else, and see if you could play a correct fourth finger. And I'm going to tell you that I think a 5-year-old could do this exercise. And I think you could do it too. Let's see. Okay, well, that looks much better. Now do your, what is it? Schradiacs? Okay, now I want you to pluck D, E, not until I finish telling you what I want you to do. Or do you know what I want you to do? That's a question. Do you know what I want you to do? Okay, then you need to wait. I want you to pluck all the notes in this. D, D, just the first D. Here, D, E, F natural, E, D, and fourth finger A. And I want you to do it slowly and see if you can actually do it in a relaxed way with good hand position. The very best one, the one that I could take a picture of and smack it into the Suzuki book, and everyone who plays Twinkle Variations will look at that beautiful picture and go, oh, that's what a perfect hand is supposed to look like. Do you remember that picture in the beginning of your Suzuki book? Yes? Well, I'd like your hand to look like that for these 5 notes. See if you can put it down nicely. Okay. Okay, so now try it where before the fourth finger, you start to get really relaxed and get ready to punch it down. So do you know what I mean by that? I don't think so. So what I mean by that is right now, my whole hand is playing an E. It's hard to do that with your fourth finger. So what you could do, I'm not recommending it all the time, but you could try, instead of reaching your forefinger, you could try pretending that your thumb was on the other side of it. Go like this. And look at how pretty your fourth finger is when you do that. You see how beautifully it connects?
Well, I'm trying not to move my thumb.
I didn't say not to move your thumb. Move your thumb. Okay? See if you can capture that feeling that you have like this when you play your fourth finger, even though your thumb's way back there. Let me try something. Okay, I want you to shift your thumb when you play your fourth finger, just for fun. Okay, I want you to move your thumb here and put your fourth finger down across from it. Right, that's what your fourth finger should look like when it goes down on the string. It should look like this. So, first finger and second finger look really fantastic. And fourth finger looks fantastic when you do it by itself. So how can you make fourth finger look fantastic if there's a note before it? How? Here's the math question. If fourth finger looks fantastic when it's all by itself, and fourth finger falls down and stretches out and wrecks itself into a pretzel when it has a note before it, what does that tell you about little baby fourth finger? Something's going on. When you play the other notes, you're not ready for fourth finger when it's his turn. But when you only play fourth finger, you're perfectly ready for it. So you have to do something to fake yourself out when you play fourth finger so that you're like, your turn, now, 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 go ahead, try it. That was beautiful. Nope, the second time it wasn't. You just rushed it. But the first time was excellent. That one was good too. Now they're getting sloppy because you're rushing, because you think that you can fix this problem in the next 5 seconds and I'll never mention it again. And the faster you go, the more I'm going to mention it. And every time you do it wrong, your fourth finger has to learn it all over again. That one was good. Is there some reason you have to slam it down? Maybe that's the problem. Maybe it doesn't like being slammed down. When you do your fourth finger, your hand is back like this, and you go ping, ping, and none of your other fingers have to go ping, but your poor fourth finger, which is the hardest and shortest one, you're forcing to ping every time. Did you ever hear about the story about Ping? How he got his butt slapped? Well, you're making poor little Ping, fourth finger, get a butt slap every time. Try it again. Well, I read it to you many times. Don't stand there. You've hit your violin scroll on the bookcase 3 times. Move over. Well, you're too close to it. See, you're slamming it down. There you go. There you go. No, that one wasn't as good. So stop being a pizza slammer. I think we just discovered what your problem is. So 10 minutes of really hard work maybe leads to hours of much easier practicing because it's in tune. So I'm going to write here on this paper, no pizza slamming. Now take your bow and play that measure very slowly without pizza slamming. No fourth finger pizza slamming. Okay, you're a little low, but that's okay. You didn't slam it. You're a little stiff, but you didn't pizza slam. Okay, Okay, you still didn't give fourth finger a very nice turn. That was a nicer turn. So now, is this part here in first position, or how is it really played?
2, open, 1, 2, 1.
So it's in first position. So why were you up there shifted so high a minute ago? I don't understand.
What?
A few minutes ago, you were trying to play it up high.
No, I didn't.
Is that what you're supposed to do?
Yeah, it's because it goes from here.
Here?
I'm...
So you're supposed to play a first finger D?
If you start from here, measure 16.
No, if you start on the D, you're supposed to play a second finger D. Is that correct?
If you start from here, it goes 2, 4, 1, and then you have to play a 2 and then shift to open string.
Okay. So let me hear you play there. So this is up, down,
No.
up. So this is an up bow. Is that right?
I guess.
I would think so. So let me hear an up bow, second finger D. Wait, I thought I said I want to hear an up bow, second finger D. That's not what you played. Okay. Slide your hand back down here and then play me an up bow, second finger D. I don't want to hear a second finger D like this. This is what you're doing. You need to learn how to find the second finger D, because are you going to slide into it on stage when you play this at your recital? Or are you going to nail it right in the middle? Every time you slide around to play that second finger D, you're teaching yourself to slide to find it. And we're not doing Russian shifts to find our note. So, how do you find a second finger D? How do you find it?
Find third position on the G string. And the first note would be C, and then you go up a whole step.
Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to go. Okay, that's one way to do it. Another way to do it is to just teach yourself to find it. Just to never, ever miss it again. To teach yourself to never, ever miss it again. Don't allow yourself to slide into it over and over and over again, because you're just going to have to undo that. This isn't even my violin, and I can guarantee you that I can teach myself to find a second finger open string in the next 5 minutes. You want to have a contest? Winner gets an iTouch night. Teach yourself how to find that note and never miss it. And once you can do that, you'll never have to practice that shift again. But the way you're practicing it, it's going to be wrong most of the time. And if it's right, it's going to be slid into, and it's going to sound like that. Your turn. Okay? And I believe it's up bow, but right now it doesn't matter if it's up bow. Don't look at the music. Close your eyes and teach yourself to find a second finger D. Oh, go back. Good. You're doing it. Oh, good. on a different string. Now play G, A, B, C. Now play a G, A, B, C, D. Up, missed it. Go back. That's, excuse me. Don't ask me what I mean when you know exactly what I mean. You made a mistake, and that's okay. That's what we're practicing. We're going to learn how not to make a mistake. But we're not going to learn how not to make a mistake if you're going to pretend like you didn't make a mistake. You cry when you make a mistake, and now you're pretending when you make a mistake. Don't give me that. I don't like that. Don't you dare pretend that you didn't understand what I meant. You understood perfectly. Don't play that game with me. I'm not Danielle or Marsha. I want you to make a mistake. But when you make a mistake, don't you pretend that that's anything else that it is. Okay? Let's hear it. You just wasted my time. Okay? Now what I want you to do is I want you, at the same time you're learning how to play your second finger D and your second finger E and your second finger A, I want you to also practice your open string to fourth finger beautiful, no pizza plunks. I like that better than pizza. What was it?
Pizza slam.
Oh, I like pizza dunk better than pizza slam. On the A and E strings so that you're all over the violin. Good. Okay, good. Now give me your violin. I want to show you something else I want you to do, which I have a reason for, even though I'm not a violinist. I want you to learn how to be a tricky bridge runner. I missed it, but what I was trying to show you is I want you to learn how to go from here to here. Because you have to do it there. You have to go all the way from there down to here. And is this a down bow or an up bow?
Up.
So it goes up to down bow on the G string.
Yeah.
So you're going to be here. You're going to be here, like this. I don't know. But what I want you to learn how to do is to go quickly over so that your elbow goes up. You can smell your armpit. Okay, so these are your two things to practice for this measure are... Okay, you see how, okay, and I don't care what you do. Make it up. But you're using second finger, fourth finger, and lots of that. You do that for 3 minutes and tell me when you think that you can hit the second finger D and nail it. So when you're ready to show me that you can play that D with second finger and fourth finger A with a nice unpizza dunked fourth finger, let me know. And I don't care if you play it at a snail's pace. You don't have to play it fast. It just has to be in tune. Are you ready to play me that?
Yeah.
Okay, let me get my Eugene expression on.
Oh, I have my bunny here to remind me of bunny noses.
Well, that's nice. Let me see the bunny.
It's from Marcia.
Well, even better. I'll put it right here. Okay, we're watching. Remember, it doesn't have to be fast. This is adorable.
I know. She watched it.
It's adorable. Look at Ben's. It can sit on your music stand. What?
That's cute. There.
Here. Wait, I'm playing with the bunny. You're playing with the violin, man. Come on. What's the matter with you?
What's my bunny?
Well, it's your bunny. There you go.
Oh, there.
Okay. Okay. Are you going to play it fast? Are you going to play it on the fingerboard? Are you going to bend your thumb? Are you going to have good feet spots? Are you going to smell your armpit when you go all the way over? Look at that pretty sunset.
Right.
Okay.
No.
And you know what? If you miss it, it's okay, but we'll just work on it tomorrow. Wait, but you didn't start on the D before it. That's
Yeah,
the
I
one.
did.
Well, you did? Where?
This?
Oh, you started here?
No.
No, you didn't start on the second.
I start there?
Yeah, that's the D that we're working on. Is this a second finger D for two?
Yes.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. It has no finger on it.
Yes, it is.
There's a little accent on it. Are you sure it's a second finger? Or you mean because you don't shift? This is a second finger. Come on, I don't like the way you're standing. Are you serious? This is a second finger?
Yes, because.
Okay,
2,
fine. Well, it makes
4,
sense.
3, 2, open. 1,
Okay,
2.
fine. So, okay. You know what? I concede that you improved it. But here's your lesson for the evening. Pizza slam dunks don't go together with violin. Put those on the basketball court. Okay? There's no slam dunks. It's soft. You know, you can have pressure, but it's not a boom. It's not ever going to be blah like that. It has to be like this. Okay? It can't be yeah. You don't ever put your first finger down like that. Do you? Okay, well then don't put your fourth finger down like that. No more pizza slam dunks. Okay? However, I mean, you know, I'm going to tell you something. I don't like tough speaking moms, but the way that you behaved made it hard. I know it's very exacting work, And when it's really hard work, if you start throwing chili sauce into my spaghetti sauce, it's going to get too hot. You know the story of the two ladies who were best friends? Oh wait, I can't tell that story. You're not my friend. You're my child. But someday I'll tell you the story of the two friends who went to a county fair, and one of them was making chili and the other one was making spaghetti, and what happened to them. Okay. Do you want me to tell you the story?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Sunset.
Well, I should probably turn it off. Or we can tell it to Marcia too.
No.
Yeah, no, we'll tell it to Marcia. So there were these two ladies who were best friends. Excuse me?
Can I make a burrito, please?
Yes. And they were best friends. And they stop that. Okay. They were best friends, and they went to a county fair where they were going to enter a contest, a cooking contest. And one of them had a secret recipe for the best spaghetti sauce in the world, and the other one had a secret recipe for the best chili in the world. And, you know, before the fair, they decided that they would, you know, they had a big kitchen, one of them, and they decided that they would cook it in the same kitchen because they were best friends after all, Blanche and Edith. And, you know, the thing is that chili sauce and spaghetti sauce start the same way. So Blanche started cutting up her onions, and Edith started cutting up her onions. And they were both working, you know, side by side and trying not to look. And then they put them in the pan and they were sizzling them. And then they put in some tomatoes, and then they were stirring it, and they put in some water and tomato sauce, because of course chili and tomato sauce for spaghetti, they start out the same way. They're exactly the same recipe for a little while. And you know, when it got to the point of putting in the spices, that's when things start to get interesting for the recipe. So, you know, Edith started putting in some basil and some garlic powder, you know, sprinkling it around, and Blanche was looking over, you know, trying to see what the ingredients were. And meanwhile, she was gathering up her, you know, paprika and her Tabasco sauce and her chili powder and all of her stuff. And, you know, Edith was getting closer and Blanche was getting closer, and Blanche was holding the hot Tabasco sauce right over her pot, you know, like this. And she was just about to pour it in, and she was only supposed to put in, you know, 2 drops. And she put in 1 drop, and Edith was like nosing in and said, "Let me see." And she pushed her, and the whole bottle of Tabasco sauce went into the chili. This is what happened.
What?
That's it.
Oh.
That is the story.
So the chili got messed up, not the spaghetti?
Right.
I thought the spaghetti got mixed up.
So the next day, or later that day, they had to bring their completed recipes to the county fair. And what do you think happened? Who?
The person who made the chili.
Did she? Is that what you think happened?
Maybe, I don't know.
Well, I don't know either. I mean, I do know, but I never tell the end of the story. That's for you to figure out. Except, I want to tell you that when we're practicing, You leave the Tabasco sauce alone.
Oh.